Okay, so what I'm doing is I want to show you a little pipeline between, let's turn this down, between Maya, Mari, and Zbrush that I've been playing with. So first off, I've got my little character here, and I've laid out the UVs. You can see I've laid them out all in their separate UDOMs. I moved them around, okay? Once you get them kind of laid out, and you do want to make sure that you have something like this so that it's separated so you can copy bits and paste them. And if you take a look at my UVs, for when I was moving them around, I've got this thing here set to 1, so I can move them over a 0 to 1 unit. You can actually see here that I've got it 0, 1, and 0, 1. So this is my 0 to 1 area, and I've just got it so it's several of them. You don't want to go past 10 over this way. Okay, so I'm just playing around with the display, and if you want to move them, you can just kind of zip them around using this. Okay, using these little buttons to move it around. So we've got that. Next thing, if I take this over to Zbrush, and have I lost Zbrush? What have I got here? There we are. There's Zbrush. Okay, so in Zbrush, I've been horsing around with this, and I've got this irritation in Zbrush that I love Zbrush to death. Why is it disappearing? It's taking a moment to refresh because I've got too many things open right now. Come on, just a little bit faster, please. I'm just going to pause. Okay, so what I've got going on is I've noticed that in ZBrush, I'm always having kind of destructive texturing. There's certain things I want to keep, certain layers I want to keep of what I'm doing, the style that I'm choosing. Okay, and so in this case here, I'm doing some doodles over this to kind of get these kind of sketchy little lines in here. But if I had textures on there, I'd lose all the stuff underneath, and maybe I screw up somewhere, and I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is, because I've got all of my textures laid out in UDOMs, I'm going to want to go into the Z plugin, and if I use the multi-map exporter, and in here I'm going to use just texture from PolyPaint. Okay, so, and I'll put these at 2K just to go faster. And let's see if I need to go and look at any export options in here. I can, and I can change some things, whatever I need to change. Okay, but the big thing is getting the texture out from the PolyPaint, and based on UDOMs, that's what the multi-map exporter will do. So when I go and I hit Create All Maps, and let's see, I've got a bunch of crap that I'm doing in here, and if I go in and in my creature here, I'll make a new folder, and I'll say, like, I'll call this like demo, whatever. Okay, great. Enter. And in here it's empty, and then I'll give it a name like black crack test. Okay, whatever, something like that. And then I'll just go ahead and hit enter, and boom, it's going to do it. Now, I think this one here is going to take me about 10 minutes, so again, I'm going to pause while it's making these up. Okay, and I'll come back in a moment. Okay, I'm back, and oh my goodness. This thing took a little while. It looks like it's trying to tell me it took an hour. I left, and it took a long time. Usually only takes about 10 minutes or so. Okay, and now it's doing the saving file in progress. Okay, so this is going to take a moment too. I'm just going to pause. Okay, so now I've just found the folder where it is, and here is all of the files that this has made. Okay, maybe I'll just, come on, you bastard. I've got too many programs open, so everything's going into lag time. And I'm just going to quickly go and hit this with, where's my open with? And I'll just put that on to, say, FCheck for a moment. Okay, so there's the image that it's made. And it's made a series of, what, 10 of these things, right? Is it 10? It might be more. Anyway, the next problem that I'm going to face is that I suspect there is a way to do this in ZBrush, but I haven't sat down and figured it out. But if I want to put these into the correct UDOMs, I have to start looking at Mari. Okay, so we got all the images out of ZBrush. I'm actually just going to close this down because maybe this will make things go better. Save changes? No, I have no changes to save. Okay, so I got to figure out what my UDOMs are. And here, let's see, sometimes I get confused as to what my UDOM numbers are, so I like to have Mari open and look at that. And so here's Mari, and it looks like, okay, I shut that thing down. Okay, cool. And now we're going to see, this is probably what's lagging me out, because this is, I have, I think, 3 million plus polys in here of some kind. And if I bring in my layers, I've got all these layers, and this is what I'm kind of getting at, is that Mari has all these layers you can play with. You don't get quite the same thing from ZBrush. So let's go and do this. If I go in and I'm going to create a new group. It's going to take a moment for it to think. Usually what I do is I make sure I only have one thing open, but I got multiple things open right now. And oh my god, this is just so heavy. Here, I'm going to pause till it does its thing. Okay, so I'm back. And, oh crap, what else did I miss here? Okay, let's put this back on. So what I've got is, here's my character. I went and I had these all cached. There's some caching issues that I seem to have. But over here we can see my UV layout here, okay? And maybe I'll move this over a bit. And so you can see it all here, and it actually gives you the names, the proper names of the UDOMs right here. Okay, and so you can see my 0 to 1 right down here, my 0, 0 point, and so these are sitting up here. And then if I go and I zoom in, you can see that this one here is 1022, and there's 1032, etc., etc., etc. So what I have to do is quickly rename things. And if I go zipping into this, I can see this one here. We already kind of know if I did a preview of this thing just a moment ago when I opened it with fcheck. Boop. Okay, so we know which one this is. This is 1022. So if I go in here, I quickly rename it, and it gave me that polysurface name. So what I'm looking for is 0.1022. And then this one here, I know that's the other side of the face. If I open this with fcheck, you'll see that's the other side of the face. And I happen to know that that's this one right here. So, like I said, there's probably like a way to do this a bit faster, but I haven't figured it out yet. 033. Nope, 32. Sorry, smoking crack. Boop. Okay, so, and pretty much this one's going to be 1023, that's going to be 1033. I can kind of tell, so the names are kind of funny, because otherwise Mari won't read it. So I'm just going to quickly rename these. I'll pause for a second while I do this. Okay, so now I'm back. I just renamed them all so that they all correspond to the correct ones. Okay, the correct UDOMs. And then what I'm going to do is let's go up here, and I'm just going to right click, and I still see this is doing a stinking lag like crazy. I need to flatten a lot of these things. I've got a bunch of things. You can kind of tell on the side. The red is indicating that this is starting to max out my memory that I can use. So yeah, we collapse these. Sometimes I'll make sure I have a save before I do that. Anyway, so I'm going to go up, and it doesn't actually matter where you go to do this, but if I go into import, I can import into layer stack. La la la. And there's black lines. That's when I did this before. But I am looking for demo. And there it is, black crack. Okay, and I'm going to import all the patches. Boop. And it's going to think. And la 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 la. Okay, and yeah, resize all, great. So now we can see this in here, the texture that I made. You can see the black lines. I'm not finished. I was still doing a bunch of crap with this, but I just kind of doing a test to see how this would look. And so I got my layer up here. I might just go and quickly put this into a folder or a group, right? So if I go and I put a group and then drag this puppy in here. No, don't put the puppy in there. Come on. Okay. So now I've got it, and then I can do things to the group. I can go in here and I can change the group so that, for instance, I've got multiply. If I switch to multiply, I can switch to any of these different modes here, and multiply kicks in. And then I've got access to going in and playing with the opacity, so I can bring it down. Okay, and test it out and play with it. And then, see, I'm in good shape here. So I can do all my painting and things in ZBrush, put them into different layers, and then pop them in here and dial them around and figure out exactly what I want. And I don't have any destructive painting going on. I sometimes find that painting in ZBrush, just something funny about it. I want to be able to save it out and play with it, especially when I'm dealing with the UDOMs. I can't save out different textures so easily, and this gives me what I want. And then after I'm finished, okay, let's just go and I take all these things, and maybe I'll pretend that I'm done right now, grab all these, and make sure that's grabbed too. And I'm just going to flatten the whole thing, merge all the layers. Just going to think, merges them all into one layer. Still thinking. Oh, you bastard. Okay, I'm going to pause. Okay, so now I'm back, and you can see, actually I just realized, oh no, it's still not outside of that little capture zone. Okay, so I've got the diffuse skin here, and now what I can do is File, Example, or Python. I'm up in the Python menu, Examples, and I go down here to Export for Maya, and there's my diffuse skin. I've got to move it over here, and Output Folder. Oh, I freaking hate typing. I don't want to do that. Just hold on a second. What if I go, let's do it from here. What if I go and I do this? And I say export, selected layer, right? And then I go, okay, creature demo. Let's just take this here. I'm just going to quickly copy that. And I close it down. And then I go zipping back over into Python examples, export, pasteola, and take this and move this over here. And then I hit OK. Now this exports a lot faster than the ZBrush one. We can watch it. La 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 la. Okay, and when I do this, okay, there it's out, it's exported, and I look, and here I've got, there's all those original black racks. I've got a bunch of freaking folders all over the place for this. But then I go looking in, there's my body, 3 million poly, and then I look, there's my MA file, there's my diffuse skin, so there's all my UDOMs right there. And if I go back up here, we can take this MA file, and I'm done with Mari now. Discard. I'm just getting rid of that. I should save it, but yeah. Let's zip over here, and if I do a quick look-see-poo, let's go back to object mode. Great, and let's just get rid of that history. And if I zip into my hypershade for this, la 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 la. Okay, and oh, there's my crazy network. I've hooked these up a couple of different ways. This one down here, this little daisy chain is how I hooked up my displacement map. But if I take all these pieces here, it looks like somehow I deselected. Grab them. I'll just get rid of that. I'm pretty sure if I hesitate over this, it's supposed to tell me. These are, oh, those are my bumps. Oh, this is my crazy, here, let's just get rid of that there. Okay, so I just deleted all those. And if I want to bring in those files fresh, so I'll just go over here to textures so you can kind of see what the hell I'm looking at. Okay, great. Or even materials. Materials here, if I'm looking for something new in a second, when I go File and I hit Import. And this one was the demo folder, creature there, and there's my MA, and I'll just import that. Boop. And it thinks about it, and which one is it? It's going to be a black one. Okay, sometimes I get lost, and there's my diffuse skin. So this is probably it right here. And diffuse skin layered texture, so I'll just take this and I'll bring this in here. Okay, and I'll just kind of quickly show you. I have this weird little hook up here for how I hook up to skin. Oh, and I hate the fact that you double click on it and the attribute editor doesn't pop up. Little trick. Boop. I show this, oh, you bastard, in other videos someplace. Let's hook that up again. Selected color. There we go. trying to do this quick, trying to get this under 15 minutes, and looks like I'm going to miss. Okay, but if I go ahead and I were to take this whole character right now and select them and hit this thing, boop, there, and now it's all hooked up. And you'll see that all the UDIMs are hooked up correctly. Okay, and if I did a quick render and I whip this up, I think I've already whipped this up. There, it all worked. Believe it or don't. And that's it. My video's done.